Aloha! You're watching F5 Web Media On Demand. I'm Peter Silva, Technical Marketing Manager at F5, and we've been at Oracle OpenWorld all week here at booth 1427. And on day 3, I have Chris Akker again, one of my favorite solutions engineers. So we posted a video on YouTube that describes how F5 solutions accelerate PeopleSoft applications. And we've had a lot of good feedback from it. We've actually had a number of customers come through the booth asking about it. And so I thought I'd talk to Chris here at the whiteboard to give us a little deeper explanation on what exactly is going on with the PeopleSoft acceleration. Thanks for joining us again, Chris.
Sure thing.
So what do we got here going on the whiteboard?
So if you've seen the video, if you've seen the demo, we talk about what's called symmetric web acceleration and how that helps PeopleSoft. If you're the user and you're connected over a wide area network, how can we make the user experience faster? And especially, how can we make file downloads faster? So what I have here is a diagram on the whiteboard similar to the demo. And I'm just going to explain a little bit about some of the F5 technologies that are being used to make this acceleration actually happen.
Draw away.
Okay, so on the left side here we have the branch office with a user who is accessing the PeopleSoft human capital management application, and they're going across a wide area network to their corporate headquarters or their data center where the actual PeopleSoft servers are actually physically located. And when you don't have F5 technology in place, the client is connecting directly over the network to the servers in the data center.
So it would be removing one of these and going right to it.
So that's without F5, and you're going direct to the servers. So to get the acceleration that we have in the demo, we put the F5 web accelerators in there, and there's actually 2 of them. There's one of them in the data center that's front-ending the PeopleSoft servers, and there's another one in the branch office that is remote, that is in front of where all the users and the clients are. So this one is called the remote web accelerator, and this one is called the local web accelerator, because we're looking at it from the server's perspective at this point. So what this does is these 2 web accelerators that have high performance HTTP caching and compression and some TCP optimizations, they actually have a constant communication channel open between the 2, and it basically synchronizes the information in the web accelerator cache between the 2 devices. So what that means is that as this web accelerator is caching content from the servers, it's making copies and notifying the remote web accelerator about content that it has cached, and it gets copies of it.
Yep.
So what does all of that mean?
Now, does this one too also let this other one know we have maybe 10 more users that are requesting something along the way?
Yeah, so what happens is the web accelerator has some pretty sophisticated software that makes determinations based on the number of users and the number of requests, and as the more popular content is being requested, it elevates it in the cache from, say, maybe being on the hard drive to being in memory, and it automatically decides which content to keep in memory. It's called the hot list, right? The content that's hit the most ends up in the hot list. Well, as this guy is, managing his hot list, he's notifying this one, here's my hot list. So the 2 of them are actually working synchronously together to basically provide the best user experience possible. And whenever there's a change in the content, like you change something or add something to the PeopleSoft server, again, these 2 are synchronized, so you never get outdated or stale. And the connection is always up and running, and it can be secured with SSL if you need it to. But it's basically the way that these 2 devices talk to each other and make sure that everything is always in sync.
So it helps from the user experience, obviously, getting fresh content and getting content quickly. From an IT administrator's point of view, how does this help their lives?
So if you're like the application owner or the network guy or the IT administrator, one of your biggest complaints typically from users is slow response time, right? That's what people complain about, is I can't get my information, it takes too long to download my files, or the application is slow. you're sitting on the far side here in this branch office using Web Accelerator, your response time in your application responds as if you were sitting in the data center right next to the server. So it gives your users a high-performance network experience that they wouldn't otherwise be able to have.
And also, like by caching some of the information over here, it also then reduces the load on that PeopleSoft server, right?
Right. So actually what happens is these PeopleSoft servers don't get near as many requests for content because the remote web accelerator is fulfilling a lot of those requests remotely. So PeopleSoft server never even sees the request, which does exactly that. It offloads some of the CPU requirements and the performance of the servers actually increases because they have more capacity. And the users, they're getting a much faster experience because everything is served at a local area network speed on the network in the branch office.
Right, because it's just going this close. It's right there.
It's right there. Yeah. So in our demo at the very end, we show a file download. So the file download without F5, you have to run all the way across the network and get it from the server. And it takes, I think in the demo, like 40 seconds to download the file. Well, with Web Accelerator, that file is sitting in the Web Accelerator in your branch office, and that's why it takes less than 3 seconds to download, because the file's already over there.
40 seconds, 3 seconds.
Yeah, right. Great performance improvement in the case of file downloads.
You know, one of the things I've noticed over the last couple of days as we've done these whiteboards is that, you know, the F5 devices do a lot of work for these other applications, these databases, and so forth to really help deliver the content that's necessary for the user.
Well, that's what F5 does, is we accelerate networking, we accelerate content and caching, we have compression tools, we have security tools like the SSL offload. A lot of these things are built into the F5 platform, and you can take advantage of them by installing these devices in your network.
That's great, Chris. As always, man, having fun with Chris at the whiteboard. So now we're on day 3. If you can't make it down, hopefully you've been enjoying these videos over the last couple of days. We'll probably shoot a couple more before the end. So for Chris, as always, thank you very much. I'm Peter Silva for F5 Networks. Thanks for watching.